Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Terrafirmagreg. Last episode, I'll show you my little setup to make infinity aluminum. But as you might expect, after so many days, it's not the same anymore. Let's go for the episode here, and we're gonna talk about some components. Well, as you see probably with the progress of the Let's Play, that we start here with very simple kind of tools to make more circuits. Like to make the first one here, first have to use the deployers and waste a bunch of materials to get one circuit. Like even to make the vacuum tube require some other setup until we open the assembler so you can make it more easily and more cheaply than before and getting more of it. And later on we made the circuit assembler when we got access to the medium voltage to make it even cheaper than before. So there's a lot of resources to cut costs on it so they can make more. But once you get to the medium voltage, we enter another stage here, where we craft the circuits not to use it, but to use in machines, but to craft the other stuff. So it means they have become components. Like you have the first circuit that is the cheapest one that I'll show you. The circuit, resistors, some cable, and vacuum tubes. But as you can see later on, we have a recipe here that makes the same basic circuit. However, it requires a chip, some diodes, some firewire, some tin bolt. But if I look into the crafting, they can be used either one of it, even the most simple, the most advanced. What you do with those kind of circuits is to craft them to use it into another crafting. That is why they are more expensive, because they are more specific about it. So in this case here, we have this recipe here into the circuit assembler to make this specific type of basic circuit. I have moved most of my machines out of the way. Those are setups that I'm gonna show you later. So this way here, we are not creating a circuit to use, but a circuit to make another circuit. Yeah, I forgot that it's still low voltage. It is so placing the internet circuit resin, the resistors, the diode, the tin bolt, the fine copper, and the chip is going to make another stuff. And talking about it, we have here these diodes here that we can make into the assembly using the fine another copper and a gallium arsenide to make 4 of it. But later on, we actually open up the silicon wafers right here, that can be used into the place of the gallium to make the same amount of diodes. And the silicon wafer is made with the monocrystalline silicon bubble that requires silicon and the same pile of gallium arsenide we did before. So instead of just crafting 4 diodes using the arsenic, we are crafting 16 using the silicon bowl. So we're getting more from our loss. And now we are gonna craft the advanced version of the circuit. It can still be used to make machines, but the real use for this is to actually make the next tier of circuits. And while it's crafting, let's go there to show you the differences, because I started doing the rigs around here, and as explained long ago, rigs are systems where you set up some kind of material to be produced, set it up and forget it existing, and it's going to continue run forever. In this case here we have 4 setups. One I think I did show before, that is just to turn air into nitrogen and oxygen using centrifuges. It's very plain simple. The other one here is to electrolyze seawater so you can gain some chlorine gas and hydrogen, and we get the sodium hydroxide as collateral that we can electrolyze it again to get even more oxygen and hydrogen and some sodium if you want, but we already got a lot of sodium here. This I already showed you that I have the rock crusher making diorite, that's then crushed into dust, they centrifuge to make a clay dust and mirabilite, and then electrolyze it to make several stuff like aluminum, silicon, lithium, sodium, and even sulfur. But what's new is that I have here a setup here using a mixer to combine the clay dust and diorite dust with water to make liquid concrete, and then combine with the raw diorite to make hardened diorite. That is the floor here. Instead of using bricks, I am going to use hardened diorite, because this is a block that for sure cannot fall by gravity or any other kind of thing that might cause a cave-in of blocks. So this is gonna make me a very safe floor. It's not that cute, but it is practical. And as you can see, everything here that is producing some kind of fluid is outputting it into this quadruple aluminum pipe and going up. And as you're not blind, you can see that I now have 4 electric blast furnaces. Those 2 here make my aluminum. This one here can make the silicon bubble, and this one here make steel. And they all output here into the back. As you can see, I have a lot of aluminum ingot here, and some silicon bubble, and some spoilers. And I find out that you can actually use the top of the blast furnace to insert the liquid items or remove it. So that forces to use the bottom one. So you can leave the bottom one to more specific traits. And the reason they are not running right now is because I already have a lot of aluminum, and I started actually smelting Kanto with the high voltage tier. So running them here gonna actually deplete my power almost completely, because I am still running those 4 large bronze steel boilers, even though I actually upgrade them to have the max capacity of 2 turbines for each one, and there's only even have the 5th one. But I still don't have a great power distribution system, still using the silver cable of 4, and this can actually go to up to 8, but since I cannot send it that much, I'm gonna and kept here into 4. This here is supplying the blast furnaces as an extra, because this can receive 8 one, and actually, since they are 2 different cables, they're not going to burn out. Now, as I said before, we have some woods on top. Let's look at it. As we're going to start producing infinite amounts of certain liquid fluids, it's time to actually start to store it for later using. Start making some super tanks that are very cheap to make. Some steel, some polyethylene, and then more basic circuits and some steel and a pump. It's not that costly to build. So here is nitrogen, oxygen, water. One is for chlorine and the other is for hydrogen. But as you see, they are not keeping itself fuel. There is a non-nuclear aluminum fluid pipe here that go all this direction here that I'm going to use to feed my machines. This is feeding the blast furnace with nitrogen for the aluminum and the silicon bubble, and oxygen for any steel that I might need to make. And this one here is for my new setup here. I let them actually build up some fluid inside because I already used it and they are now empty. This little big setup here. Gonna wait for this fog to clear. Oh, it has ended the cycle of the normal circuits. We have made 44 second tier low voltage circuits. More low voltage circuits. Yes, the question here is still proceeding. Now I want to make it this one here. That is the next recipe. I'm going to put the phenomenon printed circuit with golden fine and gold wire, silver bolts, diodes, resistors, and the run chip. Something is wrong. Oh yeah, this is not for, this is for later. And this cannot be used. That is this one here. This is going to make us the new improved medium voltage circuits. Now here you have a huge setup. You have 4 machines in this side and another 4 machines into this side here. And the pipe comes from the top, feeding it the oxygen, hydrogen, water, and chlorine here into this non-nuclear golden fluid pipes. Why? Well, the answer is quite simple. Let's pick here some bio shaft and let's go up there to connect the pipes. This here is not connected. Now when I connect it, things going to start actually flowing down there. Oh, the process started here, where you have a chemical reactor that can take sulfur. Combine sulfur with hydrogen to make some of this hydrogen sulfide. And then the hydrogen sulfide combined with the oxygen in the zone here to make sulfuric acid that is inserted into this super tank here. Okay. Now on the other side here you have a brewery with water that's going to receive bioshaft to make biomass. That's going to insert this system here to arrive into this distillery here of a medium voltage. and this is gonna produce for us some ethanol. It's going to travel all the way here into this conventional reactor with some sulfuric acid and ethanol to make the next step of the system. That is to combine both of them to make ethylene and some diluted sulfuric acid. That's going to be into this base distillery to be made back into sulfuric acid. So this is he uses some of the system because the amount we gain back here is not the same as we use it. We use one here, we get one back, but when we turn back it, we're losing 1/3 of it. Now it's making ethylene and everything else. Let's go back to the pipes and arrive here. The super tank here have ethylene. Into one side, it's going to combine ethylene with oxygen to make our delicious polyethylene. Let's use it into many recipes. And the other side, it's going to combine with the chlorine make vinyl chloride and some hydrochloric acid, then go into this one here to combine vinyl chloride to make with the oxygen to make liquid polyvinyl chloride, PVC, and that is it. The setup makes sulfuric acid, but the main goal is to have a constant supply of polyvinyl chloride and polyethylene. Let's use it into mostly the assembly recipes later on. And it is done here. It's made all the medium voltage circuits that we can. Now we can go for the next step. That is to make our first high voltage circuits. However, we have something to do before that, because as you see, we require the good medium voltage. I ship, we have it. Run, we have it. Another copper bolts is easy to make. Fine electron is easy to make, and transistors. And to make transistors, we require the assembly of medium voltage with the polyethylene, fine thin wire, and a silicon plate. And to make a silicon plate, we require the ingot, and it will need to be cooled down into the chemical bath, and the hot version comes from the electric blast furnace with silicon. However, we require Cantal coils to actually be able to be smelted. So you need to make a Cantal for that. And to make Cantal, we require iron, aluminum, and chromium. And chromium, it can come from, of course, the chromite dust, 722, or if you're in despair, from ruby. I already made most of it off camera. Is the assembly with the Cantal wire, yes, with the aluminum foil to make the Cantal coil, only missing the last piece of liquid copper, and now it's going to make it. For that step, we're going to require 128 ingots of Cantal to make 16 coils of it. We have 50, and just wait for the last one. And there we go, Cantal coils. Very nice. Now we need to make the transistor as we saw before. This we're gonna make later. First now let's go make the silicon plate. Now let's replace this one here with the phantom. And yeah, this is going to break the second one because they cannot share the individual parts here. That is. Heat capacity now is 2800. This is incomplete. And the previous version was 1000 degrees lower than before. Now this can actually smelt silicon. I believe. It cannot be used with the fluid. Need to be alone. Okay. Let's go from 2 to 1. And there we go. And we are already doing the high voltage version. Because I believe we actually need that. Don't we? Do we need high voltage or it can be done into medium voltage? I can be done into medium. But it's gonna take a lot longer. So let's just go for the speedy version for now. And why did you ask if why it is into the high voltage? Because to smelt the quantum required to be high voltage. I have here the hot silicon and the hot quantum. And because they are hot, they burn you. Even if you have something in your hand to actually grab it. Let's cool it down, and while it cools down, let's make the fine wire. Just pick something and pass into the wire mill of 1 again. Yeah. Now let's make the bolt into the extruder because it is super fast. This is the cheapest part of the recipe. Oh, sure. Silicon ingot. Now we bend it. Silicon plate. Now we place this, I forgot, into the assembly of medium voltage with the fine thin wire and some polyethylene. Here. I have some polyethylene with me somewhere into my gigantic backpack. And there we go. Transistors. And I believe this is all. No, still missing the fine electron wire. I forgot to make some of it. Or not. Yes, I forgot. But I have some here, so let's make a good chunk of it. Now have here some fine electron, and let's confirm. Go to circuit, IC chip, run chip, transistors, volt, and an electron, and we can finally make our first let me get this has two dependencies. This is so dumb. I already have the thing here for a long time and just don't compute. So what? Ethanol is poisonous. This is what I don't like it. Keep making this requirements that make no fucking sense. Okay, duck you then. And it's done. Here we have it. 8 high voltage circuits. And we don't get the achievement because this is blocking the way. But now we have it. Like I will make it, the first machine we will make with it is a very simple one. The advanced circuit assembler. Medium voltage with the emitter and everything else. We're just lacking the circuits, but now it is here. Now we truly have a better way to make circuits. This is going to open so much new ways to do stuff around. And now I have to actually continue making silicon. I have to smelt some stainless steel that's made from iron, nickel, manganese, and chromium. And then smelt into the blast furnace of high voltage to get stainless steel so I can actually make some machines of the high voltage. That's going to be for the next episode. I want this advanced macerator here. I can finally make the true process line. Get rid of this crushing wheel here. And this forger hammer here. So I can actually get everything from the ores that I have here in stock. Because doing this into the advanced macerator too, I have a chance to get an extra ore. 50%, while here is only 20. That's very nice. And even later on, after washing it and thermocentrifuge it, you can try to grind it again here to gain another chance of gain a chromium. So you're going to have a lot of more materials to show you. Well, that's going to be for another episode someday later. This was On God. Thank you so much for watching.